The survival jump. You are forced to change. You've been fired, bankrupted, or had a life-changing event, or some other environmental force has you in its clutches. This is less of a choice and more of an emergency exit. Reason number 2. You see an opportunity. The opportunity jump. You want to change because you have a vision. You see a way to improve your life through bold action. You're stable or relatively happy now, but you have big dreams, a business idea, or a vision of how you want your life to be. You feel certain you are meant to do something bigger. Reason number 3. You're stuck. The stagnant jump. You're considering a change because you've stagnated, are bored, or feel unfulfilled. You've reached a certain point in your career where you aren't sure what to do next. You feel comfortable, but not challenged. Think of it as a plateau. You stay put because that feels easier than jumping into the unknown. Here's a little secret. Your reason for jumping doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you have the courage to take the leap. Survival jumpers. The survival jump I was forced to take early in my career felt like the worst thing that had ever happened to me. But it turned out to be the best. It was a catalyst that changed the course of my life for the better. And between us, I wouldn't be writing this book if I hadn't taken that survival jump. Picture this. I'm 22 years old, living in sunny Los Angeles, renting an apartment with my 2 best friends. I just landed my dream job at a new tech startup. It was the peak of the internet bubble, when any company with a .com was a hot commodity. I was on top of the world. I was elated and convinced that I'd won the lottery with a new job that would help me thrive and grow during the first stage of my adult life. It was an era of abundance. The money being poured into internet companies was skyrocketing. Big fancy offices, flashy cars, 24/7 parties with champagne and sushi. It was a college grad's dream. The future seemed limitless, and I had a golden ticket. I was so excited about the opportunity that I convinced my closest friends to come work with me. Unfortunately, the fantasy and promise of this new job and incredible company didn't last long. The company was a precursor to Dropbox, just a decade too early. Data storage costs were high, customer adoption was extremely slow, and our expenses outpaced our revenue. While the advertising division of the company was experiencing impressive levels of growth, the company's core business was bleeding money. I'd worked tirelessly building and running our digital ad sales team, working late nights and weekends, pouring my heart and soul into my work. But our success wasn't nearly enough to keep that sinking ship afloat. With no cash and a failing business model, I was forced to fire all my friends right before I was fired myself. My dream job quickly turned into my worst nightmare. Suddenly, I was unemployed, broke, and devastated. I was convinced I'd reached my lowest point. I went home, turned off the lights, crawled into bed, and cried. I don't think I left my room for days. My roommates tried to cheer me up, but I just wanted to be alone. I ate more tubs of Ben & Jerry's than I'd like to admit. I called my mom every day to share my disappointment and fear. Every day I questioned what I was going to do with my life and wondered if I was a complete failure. I'd hit rock bottom. Even in the face of all the bleakness and disappointment, I knew if I stood still, if I let my fear and disappointment consume me, my entire future would be in jeopardy. I needed to get my life back on track and take control of my destiny. I was gearing up for the most transformative jump of my career. Up until this point in my life, every jump I'd taken had been a proactive choice, opportunity jump. I was accustomed to taking calculated risks when I saw opportunities or felt ready for a change. That trait is in my DNA. It's something I'd been doing naturally since I was a kid. But the jump I was about to take was different. It was completely reactive, a survival jump. The rug had been ripped out from underneath me, and I had to make some huge changes and make them fast. Knowing myself, I recognized that letting this setback derail my life completely would cause me more fear, angst, and misery than gathering my courage and taking a big risk. One late night, eating pizza with my roommates, I made a joke about starting my own business, but my 2 best friends didn't laugh. They thought it was a great idea, which made me genuinely ask myself, wait, what if I did? Even though I'd grown up in a family of entrepreneurs, I'd never thought of